I've made it further inland than I should have. The coastal cities are all gone and I'm holed up in a busted gas and neurocaster station. No food, just faint power and 3 rubber ducks staring down at me like gods. Targeting decoys from the war, 15 feet tall, bright yellow and riddled with high caliber rounds. I was out gathering wood for tonight's fire. I needed to stay warm, it gets cold out here in the desert at night. The gas station has a little bit of power but nowhere near enough to run a heater or a radiator. But the outlets did have just enough power to charge up my batteries and give my camera a second life. Okay. Is this thing on? Okay, I think that is set up and recording. Okay, so it's been 3-4 days since I've been out here. I've found this service station and I've managed to find a power outlet here that I can hook up this camera to and I can charge it. So I'm wanting to make some sort of a video log to sort of document my travels and well, in the hopes that someday someone might find it and know what happened here. As far as I know, things aren't going to get any better anytime soon. The war destroyed everything. But I think I'm far enough away from everything out here that I should be fine. Who am I kidding? This is stupid. Yeah, look, the war, it was a tough time. It was primarily between the federal government and the Atlantic Union. It turned into a fight between humans and the robots, and it all seemed to stem from when Center released a new technology, the Neurocaster. And these Neurocasters were supposed to be the next step, a way to send your mind somewhere else, another city, another life, while your real body stayed plugged in, motionless, safe, and efficient. You could work a job across the world without even leaving your apartment, fight wars without risking real blood, and live dreams without consequences. But as you can guess, it didn't exactly turn out that way. So I guess I'm just looking for iron and coal here. I'm gonna need some sort of way to make better tools and armor. I think that's probably a wise choice. Maybe even like some iron for a bucket of water can help those crops grow out the back that have the most dry and ill-prepared soil for plant life I've ever seen. So one can only hope, right? I'm out in the middle of nowhere now, just sand, sky, and silence, far from the broken husks of war machines rustling into the earth, and far from the ground that still trembles from the artillery buried too deep to forget. At first, I hated it out here. The heat during the day cooked me from the inside out, and the nights, well, it went straight to your bones. It felt like the whole place just wanted me gone, but I don't know, now it's grown on me. Oh, look at that, just in time to watch the sunset. Wow. Look, that never gets old. The only thing that I wish I could change about the desert is the food, or lack of it. Out here, a can of beans starts to feel like a luxury. And don't even get me started on the protein. Meat's a distant memory. When I first got here, I found a shotgun in a half-buried weapons locker behind the station, with a few shells left. It looked like whoever owned the place left it in a hurry. Now, each night around dusk, I go out on a short hunt. Desert rabbits. Fast little things, but quiet too. Almost like they know the world's changed and they're just trying to live through it. Same as me, but look, a man's gotta eat. Alright, we're gonna try and find some dinner. There's gotta be something around. I don't find much, maybe 2-3 times a week if I'm lucky, but most nights I come back empty-handed. But today was one of those rare ones. I was walking around outside the station just listening, letting the wind roll over the dunes, and I thought I heard something, a little squeak. It's hard to track anything on a night like this, with sand whipping in every direction, but I kept moving. And sure enough, I'm not sure how much rabbit is left after that, but bazinga! I had myself a tasty little morsel. Not much meat on a desert rabbit, but out here, that's prime real estate for the stomach. I headed straight back to camp, shotgun slung over my shoulder, already thinking about how good it would taste, crispened over the fire. I skewered the thing up with an old stick that I found, and that's when I heard it. A thump. It was faint, but it was heavy, not the wind, almost like footsteps. Guess I'll sit here and wait. Ooh, spooky ambience. Wait, that sounds a little bit louder than... Is that getting louder? It was coming from the west, that much I was sure of, but I left the campfire burning, with the rabbit still roasting. It was too good of a catch to risk, but too strange of a sound to ignore. The thumping was steady now, low and rhythmic. There was a tone to it, just under the surface, metallic maybe, almost like gears trying to turn after too long without oil. I could barely hear it over the thudding, but whatever it wasn't natural, and it sure as hell wasn't alone. I took a look through the iron fence at the back of the station and I saw it. It was a walker. Oh, it's right outside. Oh shit, there's so many. Alright, I don't know why this thing is so far inland. These bots, they're usually closer to the coastlines or old battlegrounds, but this one, it's been walking for a long time. You can feel it in the way that the ground moves. And it's not alone. Trailing behind it and around it are neurocasters, or what's left of them, human bodies, if you can even still call them that. Most of the skin is gone, joints are stiff, but their minds still lit up, still on. These smaller drones usually protect these big walkers, but I was able to slip onto this one and break its right knee joint. I was lucky, very lucky. The bot, whatever it was, must have been out of juice. No weapon system, no drones, just a walking relic. The body's too far gone to put up a real fight, but that didn't stop them from coming after me. I didn't have much left, just the last few shells that I kept in my pocket from the hunt. Each shot counted, and I made sure of that. Close range, quick, and for any stubborn ones, I pulled out the bat. A spiked baseball bat that I'd found. What is this thing doing so far out to the east?
Are you there?
Wait.
Help.
Hello? Hello?
Please don't shoot. I don't.
Oh no, you're another robot.
No. You have to believe
Give me one reason.
They caged me up and were taking me away.
Tucked inside a rusted cage, bolted to the walker's side, was a small yellow robot. It looked like it had seen better decades, but for some reason it felt familiar, like something I'd seen once, long ago, but I couldn't quite place it. Its voice was jittery, artificial, but there was something almost real in how it spoke. Fear, maybe, or whatever robot's equivalent of it is. So who are you?
Thank you. I was the mascot for an old television show.
Yeah, you do look familiar.
I'm Kid Cosmo. But right now, do you think we could go somewhere less disturbing?
Okay, well... Okay, you come with me. So I picked up Cosmo and took him into the service station. I wanted to find out a little bit more as to why he was captured and if he had any information about why that walker was so far out. So why you...
I was captured by a group of drones.
You were captured? Why?
I'm trying to find someone, and I think Center caught on.
But what is that? I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense to me because you're...
I don't know what it is, but I can feel someone.
Right.
Like another half on me, almost. It feels like gross and unrefined, like a human.
What did you say?
Biological and alive.
Okay, so what do you need?
1 iron ingot that would help repair my arm.
Okay, let me see what I got. He said he needed an iron ingot for a quick repair. Something internal, maybe something to do with his arm, but I don't know, I'm not exactly a mechanic, but he sounded like he knew what he was talking about, or at least thought he did. I only had a few ingots left. I've been holding onto them for a while. Figured I'd use them to fix something important, but then again, things are desperate. And something about Cosmo, his story, the way he talked about the walker trying to escape it, it didn't feel rehearsed, it felt lived. Although I would offer you some food or something, but you don't actually need that, do you? Cosmo told me that he shouldn't be here. He said he was never meant to come this far inland. Something was calling him to the coast. He said it was like a presence. He wanted to find it, not for protocol or duty, but because he believes it might be the key to something that he's never had. Emotion. He says he spent his whole life trying to understand what it means to feel, to laugh, or to cry, to miss someone, and now he thinks he's close. When he asked me to come with him, he looked like a little brother that I never had. Desperate and hopeful. And I couldn't say no. Well, yeah, you take a quick look around. I'm gonna get some sleep. I'm assuming that you don't need.
No, I'll be fine here. And hey, thank you for listening to me. Not many humans would anymore.
Of course, it sounds like you've been through a lot, and well, I could use a friend. You stay safe, Cosmo. Okay, I'll just be up in my bed.
Wake up, wake up. The sun is up. Let's go. Goodness, how long does it take for you humans to boot up? I'm just outside your door.
Hey, Cosmo.
Finally, you have risen from the dead.
Okay.
You look dreadful.
How was the night? Anything happen?
The night was long, but I'm finally glad to get a move on.
Well, hold on. I gotta get ready. I can't just leave. I gotta grab my stuff. Admittedly, I don't have much. Well, with Cosmo ready to go, I grabbed what I could, the shotgun, a few supplies, some water, a worn-out map, and the last working radio from the back room. And potatoes. Yeah, potatoes. I cooked them just before we left. You gotta keep up, alright?
It's hard for me.
I know you have small legs.
I have small legs. Wait, how did you know what I was going to say?
I would put you in the shopping cart if the wheels weren't rusted.
Ew, that sounds like fun.
So do you have any idea of where this thing was taking you?
I don't have the faintest idea. I couldn't communicate with it.
Just away from the coast? What's the nearest town? Are we gonna end up somewhere, or should we...
Well, I know Iron Butte is down this road a fair way.
Well, let's go then. And that was that. I set off down the road toward a place called Iron Butte, just me and my new traveling companion Cosmo. And I figured if we're gonna be chasing ghosts across the country, might as well start it off right. So before the sun got too high, I decided to show Cosmo a little bit of fun. The only way I knew how, and that was with the shotgun and a canister of fuel. Alright Cosmo, you ready for this?
I guess.
I put some fuel tanks down there by the ground. Do you reckon I can hit them?
Chances are slim.
Oh. Maybe I just gotta go a bit closer, alright?
You're not too good at this.
Yeah.
You'll get the next one.
About this bush.
Let's get a move on.
Well, after that embarrassing display of my shooting skills, Cosmo was right. Iron Butte's just the first stop. We've got a long road ahead. Just quickly at the end of the video, if you're here, I want to say thank you for watching it all the way through. This is the start of a new solo series that'll be taking place just before the new Quiet Place event, which of course the build server is open. If you would like to help build the island that the event will take place on, join the server and take a look. And yeah, we need some more people to help us build a South American styled city that the new A Quiet Place event will take place in.